Am I the asshole for drinking fruit juice when my partner has said he doesn't like it? Let me give you some background. I, 26F, have been drinking diluted summer fruits juice all my life because I hate drinking water. When I do try drinking water I physically retch due to the anxiety it gives me trying to drink it. So I stay hydrated by drinking diluted cordial. When I met my current partner, 34M, let's call him Jim, I was drinking 30% cordial 70% water, which I admit now was strong. About 6 months into my relationship with Jim, he confessed he didn't like me drinking the juice because it made my breath smell bad. Of the juice. It stopped me trying new foods and it stopped us from traveling cheap because we would have to pay for baggage just so I can take the juice on holiday. He even compared it to an addiction and how he was able to quit smoking so I can quit this. We decided to compromise and 1 year later I had reduced it down to 5% cordial. I was able to take my juice in mini aeroplane bottles and I had to admit I was tasting food better. However, Jim was still not happy and we keep getting into fights about how disgusting it is and it is putting him off wanting to kiss me. I can't even have other fruit-flavored drinks because Jim says it smells and tastes too similar. So I tried to give it up for him. It has been a month of attempting to drink sugar water. I am getting panic attacks and dehydrated because I'm not drinking enough. I am considering going back to the cordial because of this, but I am worried I'd be letting myself and Jim down. Am I the asshole for wanting to drink fruit juice or do I need to keep pushing? Update. I have seen a few people not understand what I mean by cordial. In the UK it is concentrated fruit juice that is diluted with water, it is not alcohol. Also the juice smells to Jim because of the artificial sugar that's usually put into cordial. As for the situation, I know it seems like a strange situation to many of you. My parents were soft and let me have whatever I wanted, which has come to bite me in the ass. I realize I have some psychological issues regarding water. I know it is not normal to retch at water. A lot of you have said I should dump Jim, but I feel like I shouldn't until I have dealt with this issue. I talked to him about how much anxiety this has been causing me and my craving to go back to the juice. We ended up agreeing that we will go to a doctor together and he wants to support me getting used to water, even if it means going back to juice for a while. I don't want to throw away a relationship with Jim, just because of my weird psychological problem. Thank you everyone for your messages. Everyone sucks here. If the thought of drinking water makes you retch, you need to see a doctor. If the thought of kissing someone who drank fruit juice makes him sick, he needs to see a doctor. And he's a control freak. Just out of curiosity, have you ever been tested for diabetes? You mentioned drinking only sugary drinks, and diabetes can cause your breath to smell like fruity acetone. Has he ever described it that way? What, you can't drink water? You need a psychiatrist and, it sounds like, a dentist. What the fuck? You should really clarify what cordial is where you are. It seems like it's an alcoholic thing in the US, but in many other places, it's just concentrated fruit juice. Esh, he's weird and controlling. You can drink what you like. Brush your teeth, use gum, mints, mouthwash, lots of solutions if he doesn't like the way it makes your breath smell. But you do sound weirdly addicted. You're getting panic attacks because you can't have cordial? And why are you taking it on holiday with you? Can't you buy juice in whatever place you're visiting? That's nuts, sorry. If he's annoyed by that, I can hardly blame him. Esh, it's not normal that you can't drink water, and it's not normal for your boyfriend to be so rigid and controlling. What is cordial? What about drinking something else like iced tea? Am I the asshole for looking elsewhere for a service my sister-in-law owns? My brother and sister-in-law own a barn and my sister-in-law we'll call Jill teaches horseback riding there. My daughter has been riding there for APRX 5 years. We're charged the same as everyone else. No freebies, no discounts, we pay $50 per half hour just like everyone else. Today I had a friend ask me about leasing a horse. I know nothing about leasing a horse, so I posted on our town Facebook page looking for information on leasing a horse. My brother comments with "Really?" Jill's mom comments "What the fuck?" and then texts me saying how I hurt and embarrassed her daughter. First of all, we're grown-ass adults. If I hurt your daughter, shouldn't she text me? And second of all, I'm a paying customer. If Elle was unhappy with a service, shouldn't I be able to go elsewhere? If I wasn't happy with my hairdresser, I wouldn't stay. But again, I was simply inquiring. Should I have stated asking for a friend? Maybe. Should it matter? I don't think so. Now I'm afraid of retaliation against my daughter, like they're going to kick her out of the barn or something. Am I the asshole? Edit to add. Sister-in-law does not offer a leasing service. Only horseback riding. So all you did was ask a question in a community forum about leasing a horse? Def not the asshole. You're not getting a discount, which is fine. Even if you were, it's your right to treat the service like any other and shop around. You didn't slander or badmouth the business. Why is your family freaking out? They don't owe you a discount, and you don't owe them your money. Info. If Elle was unhappy with a service, shouldn't I be able to go elsewhere? Are you unhappy with their service? I notice you used was, not were, and wonder if that was intentional. Was is past tense and speaks of something that actually happened. Were would be the subjunctive mood for talking about hypotheticals. NGL, this post is dripping with that vibe. We're charged the same as everyone else. No freebies, no discounts, we pay $50 per half hour just like everyone else. Is that a problem? Info, did your friend ask you to post on Facebook? I don't exactly understand why she didn't make the post herself after you explained that you didn't know anything about it, or why you didn't offer to put her in touch with your sister-in-law, since this is a topic she would have a lot of info on. Info, if sister-in-law doesn't do leasing, why would anyone be upset that you were asking for info on leasing a horse? As long as you weren't asking for info on a direct competitor, I really don't see the issue. Not the asshole. One of my family was a dentist. I still asked around for the best, most recommended dental office. My spouse worked for a popular brewery. I drank and promoted other companies' beers despite them being his employer. I work for a school. I still recommend another school district when people are looking for opinions. If they want your silent endorsement, they should pay for it. End of story. If they would get upset with and contact any client, feeling betrayed, then they have much bigger problems. Not the asshole. After reading your comments, definitely not the asshole. Are you tied in with your family in this business? No, you're not. I agree with what you said. You're a fully paying customer and are entitled to shop around, even for a friend, especially for a service your SIL doesn't provide. If she wanted referral perks, SIL could have given niece at least one perk. Just working for a business, my children normally get a perk or two, half-price lessons, logo clothing, etc. Am I the asshole for refusing to be the photographer at my sister's wedding? I'm a professional photographer, and previously my sister asked me to photograph her engagement shots. Of course, it's a privilege to photograph these special moments for my sister and future brother-in-law. However, she's now asked me to be the photographer at the upcoming wedding. Once again, it's an honor to be asked, but I declined and said I'd rather attend as a guest and actually enjoy the day instead of viewing it all through a camera. She didn't take that too well and has caused a massive drama over it. I've had family and friends texting me asking why I won't do it, and my parents insisting I should because it's not about me. I felt it was a perfectly reasonable decision to decline, but after so many people disagreeing with me, I'm not so sure anymore. Not the asshole. Your sister wants a free wedding photographer. It's perfectly normal to want to be a guest at your own sister's wedding. She's kicking up a stink because she expects you to work instead of enjoying yourself. Not the asshole. Your reasoning for declining is perfectly reasonable. Why should you have to be working at the wedding while everyone else in your family is having fun? You're going to be stressed out and trying to wrangle a bunch of people you know into getting the photos done, who will likely not be taking you as seriously as they would a stranger because you're family. I'm gonna bet that she didn't budget for a photographer because she assumed you would be doing it, and now that you've declined, she will either have to hire someone cheap, or cut back somewhere else to afford one. With that in mind, is there any way you could make this a gift for the wedding and hire someone you know, maybe at a discounted rate? Just putting it out there as a suggestion, not saying it's something you must do. You should be in the bridal party or a guest at your sister's wedding. You should be in the pictures. She's looking for free pictures. And honestly, if she's creating chaos, best you stay home than contend with all this entitled behavior. Well, if the day's not about you, then presumably you could decline attendance and go and photograph an actual paying job instead that day. I suspect if you pointed that out, it would become quite obvious that it is about you, or specifically about you attending a photographer rather than a sister. And that sucks. I'm sorry. Absolutely not the asshole. I was a pro photographer and you deserve to enjoy a family wedding. Is she going to run catering at yours? No. Give her some recommendations of friends you have in the industry and call it a day. Is she offering to pay you? If so, your choice. If not, definitely not the asshole. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter that her father found my chubbiness to be cute? My husband, 37 male, and I, 37 female, have a daughter, 13 female. My husband is thin and I'm very chubby. We had met in high school. My daughter mentioned her belief that no high school boy is going to find her pretty because she's chubby. Since I have personal experience that conflicts that statement, I told her that her father found my chubbiness to be cute. My daughter yelled at me, calling me mean. I'm confused and my husband is even more confused. Am I the asshole? No assholes here. She might be upset because she wanted you to tell her she's not chubby. Or she felt your experience was rare and your response invalidated her feelings. Or she was upset because she's 13. A lot of times when you're 13, you're upset and even you don't know why. Nah, she was probably hoping you were going to tell her she's not chubby, and instead you reinforced that she is chubby, but it's okay. Your comment was fine, but her reaction is somewhat understandable, as she's 13 and going through a lot. Hopefully you guys can talk it out, and at some point you can laugh at this moment. She doesn't want to be called chubby. It's very difficult being her age. Nah, your daughter is 13 in the midst of puberty, self-image issues, and was likely seeking validation that she isn't chubby. Kids and teens, especially teen girls, can be cruel to each other over perceived weaknesses like weight. I'd sit down and have a conversation with her about self-image and what she can do to boost confidence in herself. No assholes here, but you basically just told her she's chubby equals fat. It's a bit like trying to use the ugly duckling story where kids just hear you think I'm ugly. Nah, your daughter doesn't care or want to hear about your experience with being chubby. She wants to hear that boys her age will find her attractive and want to ask her out.